gentlemen, he is the problem child, Jake El Gallo Paul! Making his entrance to the ring, the challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua!
MMA striking coach, man I've known for over 20 years. And our unofficial scorer, Sean Wheelock, gave the opening round to the returning legend.
Here we go, live.
A close fight, so you don't want
for AJ not having it on his own.
I think both guys actually take down.
Watching two.
Body by Paul. There's the left hand.
Got it fairly wide, haven't you, Carl? I know Tony Bellew has too. I've seen Anthony Joshua so fast. Left, right, left foot comes
To it, his age.
Yeah.
He's been pretty busy. Look at it.
That's half.
Anthony Joshua. The Joshua.
Answers with the right hand.
Oh, good
Uppercut there.
Joshua misses with the right hand.
The Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight played out like a slow-burning heavyweight drama, the kind where every second feels heavier than the last and nothing comes easy.
Anthony Joshua, as we all know, never been down, amateur or pro. But there's some
It's those a lazy jab. That's what he wanted.
Nose, silver.
very loose. To play a part in this.
From the opening bell, Jake looked loose and confident, bouncing on his toes and flicking shots as he tried to control the rhythm and prove he belonged there, while Joshua remained tall and patient, calm-eyed and disciplined, allowing the fight to come to him rather than forcing the action.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
There we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's as
We're fighting a pretty busy pace.
should hold the crown like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but up close as he tries the uppercut.
The early rounds felt like a chess match wrapped in muscle, with Jake circling and feinting to disrupt the timing, while Joshua calmly measured distance, taking small steps to remind him how tight the ring can feel against a seasoned heavyweight. As the fight settled in, exchanges became sharper, clinches turned into tests of strength, and the pace shifted into a mental grind rather than a sprint.
Left hook there. First ball on there. Combination from Silva.
Another jolting right hand sends Joshua down. Anthony Joshua floored and hurt here in the 6th round.
You could feel the crowd tighten every time Joshua planted his feet, and you could sense Jake digging deep as the pressure closed in, refusing to panic and refusing to fade. Midway through, the fight shifted into something rare, less about proving narratives and more about surviving moments, managing fatigue, and making the right decisions under stress. Neither man rushed, neither man folded, and every round felt like belief clashing with experience in real time.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back.
There we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's as
We're fighting a pretty busy pace.
should hold the crown like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks
By the later stages, sweat, breath, and willpower told their own story, with both fighters leaning on composure as much as power. It wasn't flashy or reckless, just controlled intensity, ambition colliding with heavyweight reality, leaving the arena buzzing not because of one defining moment, but because the fight itself posed a question only the ring can ask and made everyone stay to hear the answer.
That ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you know, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job. It wasn't personal.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it is a big task, but I mean, if this fight were 14 months ago or whatever, however many months ago you had the belt, then when I win, it would have been me becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. So
you would have beat me for the belt.
And you claim you're better than Tyson, all these people, so I mean, we'll see.
Before a single punch was thrown, the contrast was already clear on the scale, subtly setting the tone for everything that followed. Anthony Joshua stepped onto the weigh-in platform at a solid 243.4 pounds, looking sculpted, balanced, and purposeful, not bulky for show, but built like a heavyweight who knows exactly what his body needs to endure 12 demanding rounds.
a few. 243.4.
243.4.
243.4 for Mr. Anthony Joshua. 243.4. I'm gonna need all media to scoot back this way, guys. All media, scoot back. Security, help me out.
There was no excess or theatrics, just the familiar presence of a man comfortable carrying size, strength, and expectation at once. At that weight, Joshua looked optimized for control and durability, heavy enough to assert physical authority, yet composed enough to move with patience instead of forcing moments. It felt less like a flex and more like a statement that he came prepared for real work, not spectacle, understanding that at heavyweight, structure and stability matter as much as power. Jake Paul followed at 216 pounds, noticeably lighter, leaner, and sharp, carrying himself with the confidence of someone who trusted conditioning and speed over sheer mass. His weight reflected an approach built on mobility, rhythm, and endurance rather than brute force, signaling a game plan centered on movement, timing, and belief in his gas tank.
216.6. Yeah! Absolutely dialed! You listen to me, brother! When the ring bells, I'm coming in there and I'm coming on his ass! You know who I are! I are him! Let's go!
At 216, Jake looked athletic and ready, not overwhelmed by the size gap, but fully aware of it, choosing efficiency over bulk and precision over presence. That difference on the scale didn't feel like a weakness, it felt like a calculated gamble, rooted in the belief that preparation, speed, and confidence could help bridge the gap against a much heavier man. Together, those numbers told their own story before the bell ever rang. Two bodies, two philosophies, sharing the same ring with very different ideas of how the night would unfold. And once the scale made it clear this was a grown man equation, AJ grabbed the mic and told everyone to stop confusing kindness with mercy. Listening to Joshua, it didn't sound like arrogance, it sounded like experience speaking back. He wasn't calling Jake delusional, he was calling him dangerous in the only way that matters, belief. AJ's message was simple: underestimate a man who believes in himself, and you've already handed him a lottery ticket. And when AJ says, "You're getting the full AJ," that isn't trash talk, it's a warning delivered with professionalism.
Guy's deluded.
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taken on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously, I respect it.
Yeah, but their levels, come on.
No carrying, no charity rounds, no influencer detours, just a methodical heavyweight doing what heavyweights do. What stands out is the way he explains it, like a craftsman rather than a bully. Knockouts aren't accidents, they're processes, something you build patiently instead of forcing. And when he talks about integrity, that's the part Jake's fans might overlook. AJ isn't here to play villain or hero, he's here to do his job the right way, because boxing doesn't respect shortcuts.
The fact that you've been Olympic champion, two-time world champion, are you going to have to carry him to make it a spectacle? Or is he going to get the full AJ?
The full. The full. I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more.
And yeah, he leans into the knockout talk with a grin because, let's be honest, you, me, and everyone watching knows why boxing lights up when fists start flying. This wasn't AJ glorifying violence, it was him saying, "Don't ask me to water it down." At 243 pounds, with power in both hands and no interest in babysitting, he sounds like a man who knows exactly who he is, exactly what's expected, and how thin the line is between spectacle and seriousness. And trust me, when a heavyweight speaks this calmly, this clearly, and this unapologetically, that's when you stop laughing and start paying attention.
AJ, they want you to win by knockout. What do you make of that? People here in the States as well.
I love him. That's what we gotta do. That's what we're supposed to do. From the days of watching Mike, whether it's Foreman, Shavers, why do people love boxing? They don't love it from fighters that box 12 rounds and look great technically. They want to see people getting knocked out. It's just the game I'm in. People got to understand it. And I know people know where I'm coming from. They are like, oh my God, he's so crazy. No, they want to see knockout.
And right after AJ laid it down with that calm heavyweight authority, Jake Paul steps up sounding like a man who's already shaken hands with destiny in his own mind. Listening to him, you think, yeah, this is peak Jake Paul energy, half manifesting monk, half main character syndrome, fully convinced the universe RSVP'd to his storyline. He's not rattled, not rushing, he talks like this whole fight was penciled into his vision board years ago. And whether you buy it or not, confidence like that is dangerous because it doesn't crack easily. When Jake says people don't see what he sees, you can almost believe him, not because he's right, but because belief like that lets you walk into a storm smiling. The Starbucks barista line? Pure Jake, corny, calculated, and somehow still memorable.
To be brutally honest, not many of them are rooting for you. Some have said to me, he's deluded. What would you say to them?
I know you got him picked. Like, that's what it is, you know. Of course, people don't believe in me. They don't see what I can do. They're not in the gym with me. So I don't blame them for having that opinion and thinking that this is a crazy fight for me. But I see something completely different that no one else sees, and they're going to get to see it in roughly 24 hours.
That's him.
That's Jake trying to turn tension into comfort, making a 6 feet 6 inches heavyweight just another character in his movie. When he talks about nerves, meditation, breath work, and letting energy go, that's not fear, it's preparation wrapped in influencer language. You might laugh, but you can't ignore it. I love how he casually brushes off the scripted fight chatter, too, like, relax, this is real life, not Netflix drama, while acting like the world's about to reboot around him. Here's the thing we have to admit, Jake isn't pretending this is easy, he calls it the hardest thing he's ever done, and that honesty amplifies his confidence. He's not reckless, he's committed. Whether that belief survives contact is another story, but walking into a moment like this with jokes, calm breathing, and zero visible intimidation tells you one thing, Jake Paul might be in over his head, but he's stepping in upright, smiling, and fully convinced this chapter ends exactly as he imagined. And in boxing, belief doesn't win fights, but it sure makes them uncomfortable.
What would it mean if you pulled this off?
Yeah, when I win tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be an incredible moment, but at the same time, I know that it's coming. So I'll be very happy, and it'll, shock the world. People will, the world will be turned upside down. But at the same time, it'll just be proving myself right, and I will be the, face of boxing, the king of boxing, and just continue from there into more.
At the end of the night, this felt less like a simple fight and more like a stress test for boxing itself, where experience, belief, preparation, and pressure collided in the same ring to see what would give first. One side brought years of discipline and calm control, the other showed up fueled by confidence, vision, and the refusal to feel out of place. That clash alone made every moment count. It wasn't about flash or viral moments, but about how each man handled the weight of expectation once the noise faded and the work began. Now I want you in this conversation, because fights like this don't end when the bell rings. Did experience set the tone, or did belief stretch limits further than you expected? Drop your take in the comments and argue it out respectfully, and if you're following Boxing Headquarters, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.